The Square is a heavy satirical comedy from Ruben Östlund, and it stars Elizabeth Moss, Clyde Bang, and Terry Notary, as well as Dominic West. And it is a fantastic look at not only the world of modern art, but also of society itself and us as people. Now, walking into this movie, I actually saw the trailer for The Square when I went and saw a different movie. I can't remember what movie it was now, but so I saw the trailer for The Square, and it intrigued me so much. And it intrigued me because it gave almost nothing away about the plot, besides all you knew was that there was an exhibit to be made at a museum that is a square. And then it just had a montage of all these different events happening, and it was just so attention grabbing that right after I saw that movie, I went back to my room and watched the trailer at least 5 more times. And so my anticipation for this movie was growing and growing. And luckily, at my school, Indiana University, there's a theater, and they show art movies for $4, and you get to go and watch them. And it's like a smaller movie theater. And so I went and saw The Square at the university theater. And to my surprise, the theater was actually very packed. Probably the most packed it's ever been. And it surprised me because this movie seemed to go under the radar of most viewers, although it did win the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. And so it just seemed to go under the radar with most people not having many reviews. Not even all the critics who usually review movies reviewed this movie. So I was very surprised at the turnout. And this movie, aside from 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, is definitely the most fun I had in a theater watching a movie this last year, 2017. It was so well done, so well directed. All the dialogue was fantastic, and the actors and actresses involved were very good at comedic timing and also their delivery of the dialogue, especially Clyde Bang, who plays Christian in the movie. And he is fantastic in this movie. I haven't seen him in any other work, but I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for him in future movies because he did an amazing job at the comedic timing and the delivery of his lines. So I'm not going to give too much of the plot away because honestly, going into this movie not knowing anything about it is the best thing. It is if you just walk in with no knowledge and you just know it's a movie about museums, that is the best thing because everything in this movie will surprise you, and it will literally make your jaw drop at certain points. There's a certain sequence in the movie that I was sitting on the edge of my seat, and it was so well directed, so well acted, that it just blew me away. I'm not going to give away what scene it was because I want it to be a surprise for you as well. Because it wasn't a surprise for me because I saw it in the trailer. But if you go into this movie with no knowledge, this scene will probably blow you away 10 times more than it blew me away. But so the movie is very, very well acted, and it is very, very funny. I did not expect this movie to be that funny. Most satires are tongue-in-cheek for the most part, and not really blatantly filled with jokes. This movie had the perfect combination of tongue-in-cheek satirical humor with outright jokes. Like, there were some jokes in the movie that were just so good and so well executed that I was in tears from laughter. And it was just unbelievable to me how well the comedy worked and how well the actors and actresses delivered the lines. And some of the humor in this movie is situational as well as within dialogues, and that's some of the best, because a comedic situation in this movie, a certain comedic situation, takes about 15 minutes, and you're just laughing. At least I was laughing the entire time because of the certain situation. It's just so absurd and just ridiculous. Like, you're just laughing at the fact of how absurd and ridiculous the situation is throughout the entire duration. And so the movie is 2 hours and 20 something minutes long, so about 2.5 hours. And I can't remember a movie, probably besides Blade Runner 2049, that the time just flew by. It flew by for me because the movie was so fun, so engaging, and the directing was so well done, so fast-paced. This movie moves at an extremely fast pace through scenes, through dialogue, and even in some of its slower moments, it still moves fast. Now, that's not a bad thing. That keeps you involved, it keeps you on your toes, and it is very well done for this movie. So that being said, I didn't even feel like I was in the theater for 2.5 hours. I felt like I was in the theater for an hour and a half. Whenever I could tell that it was starting to get towards the end of the movie, I was in disbelief that the movie was almost over, because it just flew by so fast, because you're having so much fun, you don't want the movie to end. And that is one of the biggest pros about this movie, is that it is fun. And while it is fun, at the same time, the director slips in comedic undertones and satirical undertones that while you're laughing, in the back of your head, you're like, wow, that is really intelligent and a really good look at society. Because some of the things in here really made me think, even after the movie. Because I remembered back to some of the funniest moments of the movie and how well they were balanced with satirical undertones. Because there are some moments of legitimate humor where you can just look at it and laugh, but then the deeper you analyze it, it's very deep and a very, very good look at society and people. And the most ironic thing about this movie for me is that while the majority of the movie is revolving around how ridiculous modern art is and what we call art these days, this movie is a piece of art. It is a masterclass filmmaker, and it just blew me away. And now I'm going to go back and watch Östlund's other movie, Force Majeure. That's also supposed to be very good, and I look forward to his future works. I hope he continues to do these satirical, comedic pieces of film. I loved this movie. Everything about this movie worked for me. Something that might not work for some viewers is that towards the end, towards the last 30 minutes, there's a complete 180 on the comedic undertone, and it's mainly dramatic from that point to the very end. But for me, it worked very well. The events that occur towards the end very well flip the script on the comedic and turn it into dramatic and make you reflect on the movie, the events that have happened, and the director's image of society and how well it coincides with our current state of society in our country. It was just such a wonderful movie to watch, such a fun viewing, And like I said, the only other movie I had this much fun with last year was Three Billboards. Um, but yes, absolutely astounding movie. When it comes out on DVD, I urge you to at least rent it. It is fantastic, and I very much look forward to Östlund's future work, and also Clive Bang's future work as an actor, because he did an astounding job. Everybody in this movie did, and all of those reasons are why I'd give this movie a 10 out of 10. I believe this movie is perfect. I cannot find a single flaw with it. Everything in this movie worked for me. It was so fun as well as intellectually challenging, and those are the best kind of movies in my opinion. Um, so, thanks for watching. Comment any movie you'd like me to review, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And yeah, thanks for watching.